we're gonna kind of half wing tonight's show. Okay. All right. Let's see here. All right. Have you seen Deadpool and Wolverine?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I don't think it matters. I mean, not that it doesn't matter where it stops. It's just that, like,
I mean, y'all can talk about it. I don't care about spoilers.
All right. Well, we'll talk about a spoiler free, and then we'll
okay.
We'll let everybody drop out at the end, and then we'll talk spoiler.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, yeah, we don't want to spoil for subs. We also don't want to spoil it for everybody that watches.
Yeah.
Did you post the show notes?
I did not. I figure we're just gonna kind of like half wing it.
Okay. I like winging shit.
We're gonna
Wing the shit out of some
go
shit.
through there. I mean, there's a lot in the news to talk about.
Fair. Let me get.
At least there's enough there to get a conversation going on about, at least. Let's see. We really need to stop having all these like really long chats in the freaking newsreel.
That's kind of like what I think. What I'm trying to say, get at or whatever. You know, save it. You know, save it for the show. Save it for the show. But I am almost ready. Just trying to get my shares out there. Are you my guy?
Oh, thank you. Oh.
Oh, dude, I hope we talk about that. I mean, there's a lot of news going on, especially since it's Comic-Con right now. Dude, does Comic-Con surprise anybody else? Like all of a sudden, it's just fucking Comic-Con.
That's why I've seen it.
Yeah. I had no idea Comic-Con was this week, and all of a sudden I just see everything about Comic-Con. Mostly Marvel stuff, I guess. I guess they're the only ones that's really been able to go. I'm straight, bud. One, I can't hear you. Also, too.
Hey, there we go. I said the only thing about Comic-Con that I'm aware of is the Doctor Doom thing. And then
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know. That was the main thing because like Comic-Con was. I guess how long has Comic-Con going on for? It's been a couple of days, I guess. It's been at least 2 or 3 days, right?
yeah, usually, yeah.
I feel like it's mostly Marvel news, maybe like a little bit about the, Cape Crusader. I don't know, man. Maybe it hasn't been that big. Ooh, I noticed Dave is getting kind of, he's getting kind of feisty over here. Hey man, hey Dave, there's a seat available. I'm sorry, I don't have the power to do that. I'm just saying, I don't have the power to do that. But there might be a seat available. There's like a little blank spot in this corner over here of my screen. Wait, what?
I love how we spiked up and then everybody saw stream is starting soon and then down to 2 viewers.
I'm trying to see our pretty face. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Are we good? Are we ready?
All good.
All right. And here we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Griffcast episode 120, the Mature Nerdage podcast for immature people, the show where we talk about any and all things nerd, from video games, comic books, movies, computer technology, and or science. I am your host, King Neckbeard Griffmore. Welcome to the show. Wild is either going to be running late or joining us, or not joining us at all. He's
How dare he?
right, trying to
How dare he?
working on a Sunday.
Working. Wait, is Sunday the Sabbath?
Yeah. Well,
No, I think Saturday is the Sabbath.
technically, I think technically it's Saturday, but it's never been officialized.
Oh, it's definitely been officialized for some people.
I mean,
guys, some
technically, the Sabbath is whatever day of the week you want it to be.
Can I have it be every day?
I mean, all right. Before we go off on sabbatical, we're gonna do a little half wing on this show because we're down a couple, and also a lot's been happening. So we're just gonna run through our news from our Discord channel, and yeah, there's a lot of shit happening. All right, well, one, let's see. Oh, yeah. So, for a little bit of housekeeping, when we get to the end of the show, we're going to talk about Deadpool and Wolverine, and then we'll give a spoiler warning, and then whoever doesn't want spoilers can leave. And then me and TCP are just going to go nuts with spoilers and talking about it. I mean, it's really not a lot to spoil.
It's mostly just the, I guess, characters that show up, people that show up. But as I said, man, it has, I don't even know what Kevin Feige was talking about. He was like, on the impact scale to the MCU, it's like an 8. If Endgame is a 10 and Infinity War is a 9, it's an 8. I'm like,
no, it ain't.
It had nothing to do with the MCU at all.
Yeah.
Other than the TVA showing up, 0 impact. 0. Nothing. Still a fun ride, though. I was laughing my ass. I was trying not to be that guy that laughed too fucking loud in the movie theater. But it was me. I was definitely laughing too loud.
I mean, it was enjoyable. It was enjoyable. Was it great? No. All right, so we got Warner Brothers Discovery is considering splitting in half. Didn't they just merge 6 months ago?
They spent all that money trying to merge and get all their, definitely get everything into one streaming service. They changed their name several times. HBO Go, HBO Plus, HBO Max, just to Max, and then added in Discovery Plus, taking away Discovery Plus and just being it's just Max. Yeah, man, all this stuff, and then they're just all right, now we need to separate. That's... I don't know, man. I mean, I'm a simple being. Put everything in one location. I might watch it. Now, if you...
Like, seriously,
that was posted a while ago. I don't remember like what trying to separate into.
It'll probably be like their movie production and their streaming service, just trying to separate it out.
Yeah.
But I will say one thing about this last weekend that I realized is going to the theater is not dead. The only thing that's been dead is the quality of movies coming out.
Releasing quality content is what I was going to say. Yeah.
So we got Keldrich saying Halo. Hello.
Hey, bud.
I don't know if he's talking about Halo or if he's trying to say hello.
Halo
I'm dyslexic, and I don't know if that's a misspelling or not. All right, so let's see. We got
talk about them separating their content from like movie production and then streaming. So like they're trying to have like God, I wish I had that article now if I could see it, so I can fucking reread it. Oh. Asking you shall receive. Splitting in half. Blah, 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 blah,
no Halo with 2 L's. L.
It's separating streaming and
he's saying hello.
Studio.
Okay.
So yeah, they're saying you're right. They're trying to separate their streaming and studio operations from its legacy TV networks.
That makes sense.
In order to combat a sagging stock price and a mountain of debt.
Oh, yeah.
The company is 39 billion of debt? What? Oh, 39 billion in debt.
Yeah.
I mean, that pales in comparison to the United States of America, but still, that's a lot of fucking debt. How do you...
Quite a bit.
How do you pay your employees? How do you even make new content? Like, how do you still exist?
Well, here's something though. They haven't had to pay their employees because they've been on strike. No.
No, that's good. I mean, no, that's not good. That's not good. But yeah, I'm saying good as in like your accurate statement of like.
Well, I guess technically
on strike still.
Well, no, the news strike just started.
I know a news strike just started, but isn't that for AI and video games?
Kind of, a little bit.
Fucking AI, man.
Everything.
I don't think it's. I think people are just trying to get ahead of it before it becomes a problem.
I mean, that's fair. It could already be a problem. I mean,
there's a lot of issue with like advertisements and posters and things like that people are using AI to make with it.
I mean, COD got slapped with that too for releasing a skin that was right. Calm down. For releasing a skin that was AI generated. I didn't see the skin. I really couldn't care. As soon as I saw COD, I was like, oh. But I saw that was AI generated. I mean, I don't know.
It was kind of the beginning slapped with it a lot because they keep putting. Okay, I switched to a different device because Lord, my phone wasn't working. Yeah, you're having a little trouble there, bud. But so like Wizards of the Coast got slapped with it because they keep using AI to alter other people's artwork.
Yeah, and that's the thing with AI, it's not necessarily that it's creating art itself, it's pulling from other people's style and creating stuff based on that.
Yeah.
And that's basically like stealing in its own way.
So Joseph Simmons said, is it Simmons or Simone's? Simmons, right? One M is throwing me off. Sorry. Joseph says, if you have $100 billion in assets and $39 billion in debt, it really isn't terrible unless they lack liquidity. That's actually a really good point.
You? Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I allow that. Viewers getting interactive. That was a very well Great statement, bud. Thank you. No, I seriously do appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I will always say when I'm wrong, especially if you can, lay it out in basic facts.
Oh, dude, I'm so sorry. I'm completely distracted right now just because this that just came across my news. This happened way earlier in the day, and it's not even nerd related. But I was watching the F1 race. Fucking George Russell he won the Grand Prix today, and he got disqualified because apparently his car was underweight. And I had no idea. I mean, of course, I would have no idea. Why would I know if his car's underweight? Oh, but they took his fucking win away from him. I was so happy he got that fucking win today. Dude, and they fucking took it away from him. I'm so pissed. That's such bullshit, dude.
How much was it underweight?
I mean, I don't fucking know. I mean, I'm not looking that closely. I was just like, at first I saw it, I was like, oh, that's some spoof shit. That's some bullshit. And now I had to do my research, and I'm like, yeah, man, they took the fucking win away from him. I mean, Lewis Hamilton won. I mean, it's still Mercedes win. Who cares? But oh damn, man, they took it away from George Russell. Man, he's heartbroken, man, in this image. God, that sucks, dude. That dude fucking worked hard for that win, man.
Yeah, you're right. Cadil.
He doubled the life of this. He doubled the life of those tires to fucking get that win. Oh, that's such bullshit, man.
Just ignore him. Keep talking about.
I am fucking heartbroken for him. I am heartbroken for this dude right now. That sucks.
Like, I'm not against people creatively using AI and using AI assets, but when you use it to plagiarize somebody else's work, that's a no-go for me.
Even still, when you take I was thinking about it earlier. If you're gonna take an AI's work and claim it off as your own, you're like, hey, AI, write me a screenplay. Write me a screenplay involving, this and that with these characters, and then now you're like, hey, Warner Brothers, I have a screenplay for you. Let's go make it happen. That's
yeah.
And I feel like that's going to become a lot because, I mean, I'm kind of even still doing it within my job as well, and I'm in back-end cloud architecture for applications, and I've never done it myself, but I mean, I've worked with dudes that have been like, I've done it. They're like, I need to write some code. I go to fucking ChatGPT. I say, hey, I need this. And then they just copy and paste that code, tweak it a little bit to make sure it works right for the environment. And then it's good to go. I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Well, I think when it comes to like coding and stuff like that, though, I think that's a kind of a different application depending on what you're coding, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a good and bad thing, like a lot of things all at the same time.
Yeah, there are definitely pros and cons. Let's see. Cole Commissar says the maximum or minimum weight is 798 kilograms, and he was at 796.5. So he was.
Who is this? Who is this viewer? He has put it in all the work for us right now.
This is actually a different person. This is from Twitch.
Is it a different person?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry.
Let's see. Maybe the names were similar to me. I'm also half paying attention because I'm still just like, I might leave. I might have to take the day off tomorrow.
I agree with you to an extent. I do 100% agree that it does remove the human aspect of it. But I do believe it can be used in a pinch to cover some aspects that you need. Yes, it is a tool and it should not be crutched upon. I do agree with you with that. But in certain aspects of applications, sometimes it helps. Like if it's going to save you tens to, dozens to hundreds of hours of work, cool. But do not use it to copyright some things.
Yeah, don't use it to copyright. I mean, you're talking about using it as a tool that's good. Using it as a clutch. You can compare it to even something simple, something dumbed down. I can't say dumbed down, but like something simple, like using your backup camera. Yeah, it's nice. It's easy to have. It's easy to use. But like when you're in that situation where you need to, like you're in a rental that doesn't have a backup camera. Now you just shit in the water. Are you no longer able to do? Are you not able to back up anymore?
This is a weird analogy that you went down.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like it's comparable. Is it not comparable?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, being able to do something versus not being able to do something and relying on technology to carry you through it.
Right.
I mean, there's also give and take, especially when it comes to programming. I mean, I've never been a UI developer. I've never been a UI developer, application developer for the front end. But I know there's tools where you can design your website, you can draw it, you can move things around, you can move assets around, and put them into place how you want your UI to look, and then it will print you out the code base for how it should be, and you can use it as your code base. I've never thought that was too far. I never thought that was too far in anything, because you're still kind of like, I guess you're still similarly putting in the work to do it. You're still designing it to how you want it to look and how you want it to be. And maybe you don't have like the those proper coding skills, and you're still getting, I guess, the source code anyway for how your application should operate. You're just using a different tool, different format. And I mean, you can do the same thing for for what I do when it comes to building infrastructure. You can use you can build DevOps pipelines through UI. Click and paste and place things here. Or you can write the YAML yourself, the YAML JSON, however you're doing it. But I mean, I guess there's a little bit of give and take. It's it's not the same as just going, hey Genie, I wish I had blah blah blah, and then it just spits it out. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Sorry, Cadill's putting in a bunch of work here. So let's see, when it comes to pinches, brushes within art programs can be a good example. Okay, yeah, I can see that. I mean, definitely everybody will have their own style when it comes to programming certain things. But in the aspect of technology, I can see where AI could be a useful tool. But also, let's see, call me Cade. Oh, Cade Elrich. I keep calling him Cadill. It's Cade. Okay. Dyslexia is putting words in my. I don't know why I didn't see Eldritch there. I just saw Cadill Rich.
You gotta have fun with the usernames when you can, man. I don't. I mean, you're not messing up TCP. I mean, that's kind of hard to mess up.
Here's the funny part is I'm a massive Lovecraft fan, so everything is. I'm all about the Eldritch horrors and things like that, and I don't know why I did not instantly recognize the word Eldritch in his username. Sorry, we're just going to talk about your username for 5 minutes. But yeah, no, I can see it from somebody who, let's see. I could definitely see how somebody who is within the physical art ecosystem, I guess you could say, would have a lot of issues with AI. When it comes to digital art and marketing art, I could see some usefulness of it, but we've been having a lot of issues with a lot of these major companies plagiarizing real artists. And I think that we should have some sort of guidelines in place that if you use AI in a thing, that you say you use AI in it.
Very fair. It's very good. I don't think people have a problem saying that they use. Actually, you know what? Maybe some people do. Maybe some companies do have trouble admitting that they use AI. I think about Secret Invasion and how they had their opening scene or their opening credits rendered through AI, and God, they admitted it, they came forward and clear about it, but did they get the backlash for it? Not the backlash for just using AI, but the backlash for being like, that does not look good, that does not look like good art or whatever. Yeah. Like, how would you approve that or whatever? Even if it's AI or if it's human, why would you do that?
Another major, I'm going to go back on Wizards of the Coast here. Wizards of the Coast has had a lot of issues with them plagiarizing people's art with AI to put into Magic the Gathering cards and also in Dungeons and Dragons books. So they've had a lot of issues with that. And I'm just like, you're Wizards of the Coast. You have access to the largest group of artists out of almost every company in existence. Why are you crutching on AI for this?
Cheaper.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
When it comes right down to it, it's all about money and how much they can save.
That is fair. They can
it's,
use AI, but the artists that use to build that AI still need to get some royalty. I don't know how I can do. Let's see, but there was some Marvel Slate contest I partook in. I did this poster piece. I'd love to show it if I can. Yeah, Cade, you're more than welcome. Are you in our Discord? You're more than welcome to join, and I'll make an entire channel just for user creations.
Ooh, user art.
Yeah, user art, user creations.
Yo, first project, make a TCP. Let's go. I need an icon. I need an emblem.
Yeah. I mean, we're up to what, 40 to 50 people that cycle through here now. Let's see if I can find it for you. So you're on Twitch. Yeah,
I mean, that's true. Like, you're talking about the person that created the AI, the guy that wrote the background programming for the AI. You know, do they deserve something? You know, do they get some kickback for what for what you create off their creation? Oh, now we're entering a different realm. Oh, that's so good. That is big.
There you go, Kate. I went ahead and linked it to you in Twitch. Yep, there you are.
That was fast. Look at my guy.
Yeah, anybody else who's watching, feel free to follow that link. If you're somewhere else, just let me know and I'll link it to you too. Like Joseph, if you want to join the Discord. Sorry, I keep having to like rock back and forth here because like my mic arm's in the way of the chat. I'm trying to monitor 3 different chats at once here. But yeah, everybody's welcome. Just try to keep your and Kate, as soon as the show's over, I'll make that channel for you. But yeah, everybody's welcome. Just try to keep everything confined to the channel topics, so that way it doesn't get too clustered. Okay, apparently he missed that.
Delay? Time delay?
Here, let me hey, all right. You talk for a second. Run the show for a second. Let me go ahead and do this one.
I mean, I don't have anything to talk about. So, like the background that I found on Google, is that also bad? Do we need to talk about those rights as well? Like what we can find on Google and things like with AI. I just found this and like, oh, look how cool. That's badass as shit. I'd live there. I mean, it would be terrible to live there, but I'd still fucking live there. I think that'd be cool. Horrible. It's so cool. And like, I'd be trying to like, well, not that way. That way would be tough. But I'd be like trying to jump from here to here. That'd be fucking cool as shit. Maybe from like here to here. We're not back and forth. That's a big fucking jump. Ooh, what do you think the gravity is like? Do you think it's like a low gravity planet? Could be an asteroid. Ooh, a flaming asteroid. Ooh, like how like some comets are made out of water. There's a comet that's made out of lava. Ooh, do those fucking exist?
All right, I'm back. Let's...
Dude, no. You came back at the wrong time. All there are comets that are just like made out of. So we know that there's comets or asteroids that are made out of rock. I don't know if you're going to talk about Bennu later because you had posted the thing about Bennu. Anyway, but like these comets that are just made out of rock or like just a large collections of rocks. I mean, we used to think that like, you know, all asteroids were just like a big ass fucking rock, but Bennu seems to be like, you know, just a collection of rocks. You know, that's why when the Osiris Rex, you know, landed on it, kind of like sunk in because it didn't have that. I don't know, the structure, I don't want to say density, but like the structure is like, oh, it's just a shit ton of rocks that's collective, you know, just on the surface, whatever, it doesn't matter. And, you know, and we know that comets are just, you know, frozen balls of ice going through. That's why they have tails, because the tails either, you know, when the sun hits it, you know, heats it up, you know, turns the water into gas, and that's why it has a tail. So now, are there lava comets? Do you think there could be lava comets? I mean, actually, if they're out there, you know, frozen, you know, flying through the abyss, they're probably pretty cold.
It depends on how close it passes to a high temperature body.
Right. Yeah. They're really close to a high temperature body. They're really close to a sun. They could be just lava, just like hot fucking rock. But then again,
I do believe though
Mercury,
that if something gets close enough to heat up to be turned into lava, that it would actually be just sucked in.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Because Mercury's not that hot. I mean, Mercury's hot, but it's not that hot. Venus is a lot hotter, just because it's just because of its atmosphere and the I don't know, the combustion heat, because it turns so slowly.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
Does it turn slow? How long's the day on Venus?
22 hours? No. Sorry. It's almost as long as this year. It's really fucking long. God damn it! Now I gotta fucking look it up.
Does it orbit the sun that fast?
It orbits that fast. It also spins backwards. Technically, it doesn't spin. Technically, it doesn't rotate backwards. It just rotates at 180 degrees. So technically, they consider all planets to rotate to the right to the same plane. How Earth rotates at a 23-degree angle. If it still rotates to its right, it just rotates at a 30-degree or a 23-degree angle. Neptune technically rotates. Is it Neptune or Uranus? I think it's Neptune. Neptune technically rotates at a 95-degree angle, and then Venus technically rotates at a 180-degree angle. So it technically, from our perspective, rotates in reverse. But it is so slow that, I mean, it might as well not be rotating compared to its revolution, because it rotates that fucking slowly.
Interesting. I would also like to point out that Uranus was mentioned and nobody did a butt joke.
I thought about it, but the mature side of me came out really quick. It's a mature nerdy podcast.
But yeah, you brought up Bennu. So we have actually launched a satellite out.
243 days is how long the day is of Venus. 243 Earth days is one day on Venus.
Damn.
Pretty long day.
And it takes 225 days to orbit the sun. Oh, so its rotation is longer than its orbit.
No, actually, I think they have officially declared Pluto no longer.
Oh damn it! I wish I wore my Pluto shirt, man. I have a shirt just for this situation. You know one where there's the balls and like the Pluto's flying off. Yeah, Pluto is no longer.
He just called it Schrodinger's planet.
It's not even a Schrodinger's planet. Planet 9 is probably a Schrodinger's planet. All the evidence is starting to show that it's out there. People are starting to discover it. Ooh, the guy that predicted. Oh my God, what is this fucking name? Oh shit. So Saturn has, just to start off the conversation, try to figure out who this guy is. Saturn has 148 confirmed moons. There's one person in his observatory that have discovered like 70% of all these moons, right? He's predicted every single one of them, then he's found them. He's also predicted that Planet 9 exists, and he's still looking for Planet 9. He's looking at like the gravitational pulls of like Pluto, Neptune, and other objects that are in the Kuiper Belt, and like he's looking at the projections and everything. He's like, yo, there's a fucking ninth planet out there that's just, it has this fucking long ass. Oh, dude, we're about to enter a dark realm. We're about to enter a dark realm of the shit that I'm about to go into right now.
I would like to point out though that if you go to some of the historical sites, like the old Sumerians and stuff like that, when they show have representation of the celestial bodies, they all show 10.
So we're talking about the ninth planet that's on a very massive orbit that goes way the fuck out there, way past the Kuiper Belt, and then shoots in very close to the Earth or to the sun, and then shoots way back out there. And it does this on like a 2,000-year cycle. Now we're talking about the creepy part of things. We're talking about the planet Nibiru and the Anunnaki, who are supposedly the beings, that helped the Egyptians construct the pyramid. We're not taking it away from the Egyptians. The Egyptians did construct the pyramid, but they probably had access to technology that we probably don't understand. And they built them tens of thousands of years ago, not 2,000 years ago or 4,000 years ago, 2,000 years before BC or whatever, between the height of the pharaohs, whatever. The ancient, what we consider ancient Egypt, the pyramids were already fucking tens of thousands of years ancient to them by the time they, were doing that shit. And it all comes back to the ninth planet,
when they
the
were
planet
built,
Nibiru, Anunnaki, and the use of gold. And gold, and that's why we've, as humans, we find gold so valuable, but gold has absolutely zero fucking purpose on this planet.
just like diamonds, it was made to have value.
It's a good electric conductor.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
There's gold in all of your electronics.
Oh, that is true. That is true. In our electronics. I mean, we didn't know that back in the, a couple thousand years ago. We didn't really have electronics. It doesn't matter. So, the thought is, do I really believe this? Maybe. But the Anunnaki, tricked the human population into harvesting gold and getting gold so that, because they have better uses for gold and it helps them sustain life on their planet.
So, I have heard several of these theories, except for this one. So what's the cycle on this planet?
It's like 2,000 years. It's like 2,000, close to 3,000 years.
Okay, so it's due.
It is due. It is due to come back.
That'll be a sight to behold.
Dude, I mean,
that'd be interesting. Just like
it would be cool as shit. I mean, we're starting to like, dude, deep dark hole, man. I told you. Why would you get me started?
I didn't get you started. You got yourself started.
I'm not crazy, people. I'm not crazy. I just see a lot of shit. I just see a lot of shit, and I listen to a lot of shit. I don't necessarily believe it, but some of it, the evidence is there. The evidence is there. So like we're finding like sites like Göbekli Tepe, which is like 30,000 years old. This shit's old as fuck. Is it 30,000 years old? It might be 8,000. It doesn't matter. But it's from a really long time ago. Back before periods when, showing this gigantic city and all this life, way before we actually assumed that there would be life in actual cities and actual people doing things. We're finding these things. We're finding these sites. There's this huge site off the coast of Japan. It's like these huge, massive sets. And sites and structures. It's really creepy. I forgot the name of it.
Hold on.
Tell you.
Let's see. Joseph has popped in, saying, I thought gold was valuable because all the gold in the world can only fill an Olympic swimming pool, which is far less compared to other metals.
There's so little gold in the world. There's not a lot. It's so fucking tiny. It's like
it's got to be a little more than that because we have entire structures made out of gold.
No, we don't. They're gold plated. They're covered in gold. They're not like 100% gold, or they're mixed with other alloys. Okay. I think if you took 100% of the pure gold, you might be able to make. From the last thing I heard, you might be able to build two two-story single-family homes and have them attached. That's how much gold there is on a planet.
Interesting.
It's not a lot. It's very tiny. Like when you look at your gold chains that's why they have carats. It's how much gold is actually represented in it because a lot of it could be lead, a lot of it could be nickel, because gold is actually a very weak structure. I mean, you can just put it in your hand and you can just tear it apart. So when you have gold chains and stuff and you're pulling on it, it doesn't break. It's because it's mixed together with other alloys that are stronger.
Okay. Which, that would put more value on it. But like diamonds was a complete and utter farce.
Well, that's different. It's completely different. Just because diamonds were so pretty, and that was that's marketing.
It was all marketing.
Capitalism for you. Marketing, showing that diamonds are rare, and now that we're finding as we dig deeper in the earth, diamonds aren't rare. Diamonds are almost more common than coal.
Yeah.
Diamonds are fucking everywhere.
Yep. They're extremely common.
You can even
And
technically coal is diamonds just over a longer period of time. That makes sense. It should.
And also, cubic zirconium. The only reason that it is considered cheaper, one, is manufactured, so you don't have to dig for it, and two, it has no impurities that real diamonds have. Like if you are trying
you can have a cloudy diamond. Is that what you're trying to say?
Right. Cubic zirconiums, the fake diamonds are actually stronger, are more utilitarian. Yes, they are. 100%.
I will agree with you with everything, but they are not stronger. I don't think they're stronger. You can take a diamond and chip a cubic zirconium all day, cut it in half, splinter it, do whatever. That's the only thing I will not agree with you on. But other than that, they look exactly the same. They're still strong structures, sure, and they're still pretty. They look great, and they're cheap. Who cares? I mean, the only people who buy diamonds is for the look of diamonds and show that they have off diamonds. Whether you buy cubic zirconium, whether it's real or not. I mean, unless you're walking around with those dudes who are trying to be TikTok famous, with the little testers, and like, oh, let me test your diamonds, touch. This one's fake. Like and subscribe. It gets so serious when he reads comments.
Oh, I'm not reading comments. I'm over. I'm reading. Okay. So I'm both right and wrong. As a whole, diamonds are harder. Diamonds run a 10 on the Mohs scale, which is the hardest material. And cubic zirconiums run between 8 and 8.5 on the Mohs scale. The difference is that the material properties of diamonds also indicate that its hardness is directional. So depending on which way you're testing it, it's easier to break in certain directions, whereas cubic zirconium's hardness is uniform.
Mm-hmm.
So it maintains its 8.5 all the way through it, whereas diamonds will maintain its 10 in certain directions. But
I will allow it.
I am mostly wrong. I am mostly wrong.
Thank you for whoever added this comment. We appreciate you so much.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for watching.
And we got a couple of guys who are just tearing the chat up today. With Cade and Joseph are just going nuts in here. All right. Where were we? Oh yeah, the Bennu. So Bennu is a asteroid that is not a single entity technically. It is a coagulation of several asteroids together that have ran into each other and are, I think it's got like an hourglass shape right now. Very similar.
I think that's a different comment. I know which one you're talking about. The one that kind of looks like a peanut.
Yeah.
I think that's a different comment.
Is that okay?
I think it's actually like a comet and not an asteroid.
Okay.
Bennu. I mean, it could be a solid structure, but it's
I am thinking of a different one. I am thinking of a different one. But okay. Let's see here. Yeah. So the samples from Bennu is showing that it could be from an ocean world.
Right.
Which is crazy.
I mean, I don't really think it's that crazy. I don't think it's that crazy to think about.
It's really not. I mean, hydrogen and oxygen are the two most common components within the universe.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean,
water collecting a spot.
A water world. Sorry, continue. You go first.
Go ahead.
Thank you. You're so kind. As you said, I mean, some of the most common elements in the world. If we look at some of the history of our solar system as well. I mean, obviously we have Earth. Bennu could have been created when Theia collided with Earth to create the moon and the body of Earth that we know now today. Bennu could have been created in that time as well. I'm not sure if liquid water had could be known that point. This collision was probably 3 to 4 billion a couple of years ago. 3 to 4 billion years ago. It's undetermined when water technically arrived on our planet. They want to say around 4 billion years, but I mean you could also be off a couple hundred thousands, millions of years, depending on when it arrived. But I mean, if you look at Earth, you also have Mars. Mars has been confirmed to have liquid oceans as well. Not Saturn, but Titan. Titan has liquid oceans. Europa, Enceladus.
Europa, yes. I'm not sure about Titan.
Titan 100% has liquid.
It
has liquid water.
It has liquid oceans, but I don't think they're water.
Okay, you're right. It's liquid methane. Liquid methane.
Yeah.
Sorry. But yes, I'll still hold with Enceladus and Europa. Other liquid worlds, ice worlds. I mean, they could have collisions where or impacts that could shoot this up. Shoot this material up, have it coagulate,
solidify,
and then continue to circle. Shoot a shot. Travel around the solar system and do some really good things.
Yeah, I mean, it just I am constantly amazed at how much we are continuously learning, and at the rate we are learning it.
Never ending. It's so fast, and it is so
and it's
quick.
only going to get faster as more technology advances.
Yeah.
And technology is advancing at a pace right now that is astronomical throughout recorded history.
Oh, dude. I'm about to cycle back a little bit. Because, they're finding evidence that humans, or at least, I'm going to say Homo sapiens. They used to say Homo sapiens didn't come around until, I don't know, 200,000 years ago. But they're finding evidence that they could have been around longer than that. Another form of Homo sapiens or other humanoids. But even still, if you think about it, 200,000 years ago, 200,000 years, that's a long fucking time.
The other problem we have is that carbon dating isn't exact.
Carbon dating isn't exact. It's, you can get relatively close, but you're still, you do have a margin of error.
Yeah.
But if we're going to want to use 200,000 years as a basis, think about how fast we went from the first flight to the first moon landing. 66 years. That is dumb fucking quick.
Yeah.
That's dumb fast. You're talking about 66
just think about it in our lifetime.
200,000?
Just think about it in our lifetime.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid using a rotary phone.
Yep.
And now there's people alive today who don't know what it is to not live with the internet.
People use it. People are like, flabbergasted when you tell them that Netflix used to arrive in the mail.
Yeah.
Wow. Why did I say that so fucking weird? Did y'all hear that?
You've been talking to me too long.
Yeah, man. People were surprised to hear that Netflix came through the mail. So you're talking about 200,000 years. So you can definitely think about a time or see the possibility in, because people aren't dumb. And some people are dumb, some people are smart. But what you classify as smart... No, seriously. What you classify as smart is different. So what I'm going to talk about is... So I just watched the show Shogun, which I think is a great example. I've always really thought this, and I've thought about this on different levels, right?
Right.
So you can imagine when the European nations are expanding their dominance or whatever, expanding their influence, and they come across these nations, whether they're in India, China, Japan, and they see them, and they're still using blades and swords. They're still doing things very old, I guess, older in style or whatever. And they're looking at oh, look at these barbarians. Look at them, what they're doing. Like when the Spanish discovered the Mayans, they're like, oh, look at these barbarians. Look how barbaric they are and what they do. And some of the Mayans were some of the smartest people on the fucking planet. They understood the celestial bodies better than some of us even now today can do. And so, in the same thing for when I was watching the movie Shogun, or the show Shogun, they see the Westerner, and they're like, oh, he's so barbaric, like he doesn't understand our ways. I'm like, just because you don't understand someone's ways doesn't mean you are barbaric. That dude is still very intelligent. He just doesn't understand your culture and your systems and your language. That doesn't mean he's barbaric. He does things differently than you. Yeah, sure. Well, and it can be seen the same way around.
Was it Einstein that said, if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, you'll go forever thinking it's stupid?
Homie knew what was up. So you're looking about 200,000 years ago, and just thinking just because maybe they didn't have tools, but even still, like when I think about the ancient Egyptians and how they built the pyramids, if or how they built the pyramids, they might just have been using technology that we don't understand. Technically, in their eyes, we could be the fucking barbarians, not being able to understand the technology that they had to be able to, move 50-ton rocks and put them 300 feet up in the air. And they built these structures, supposedly, within 10,000 BC, and yet it still took us until 1860 when we built the Eiffel Tower to rival the next tallest structure on the planet.
Yeah.
You just never know.
You never know.
When was the Eiffel Tower
let's pull CP off the Discovery Channel.
I said 1860, but that actually does not sound right. I don't know when the Eiffel Tower was built. If it was 1860, that kind of sounds fucked up, because that's we know what was happened during 1860. At least, my people do.
Caught off guard on that one.
It's okay, you can laugh. It's funny. I'm having a good time. I'm going to get another drink.
Oh. It's kind of funny. You look like you just reached into the moon in your backdrop and pulled a drink out of it.
Yo, man. Everyone thinks the moon is made of cheese. It's not. It's whiskey Coke.
Now the question is, did you just pre-make a bunch of whiskey and Cokes and shove them in your fridge?
How long have we been doing this show? No, seriously, how long have we been doing this show? You've never noticed that's what I've been doing?
No, I didn't.
Mark noticed it the first time too. He's just like, oh shit, he just poured a fucking fresh drink out of nowhere. I was actually a little, ambitious, overzealous with that one, because I still have yet to finish the first one.
Meanwhile, I'm just sipping here. So, those of you who enjoy beer, Founder's Dirty Bastard is actually really good. I've never been a fan of Founders.
Is that one 13%?
No, this one's... It's up there, but it's not that high. This was 8.5.
Oh, I thought you were going to be 12.6.
No. So yeah, Kate, there still is 4. But just Wild couldn't make it today. He's out, making a living. So there was 5 of us for a while. We're back down to 4. There will probably be, once again, 5 or 6 of us in the future. We're gonna cycle through people. It's gonna happen. And when I get off my ass and start actually, pushing us out there, because you can see we've done 120 episodes, and most of our...
Hi, Mom.
Most of our traffic is from rewatches on Facebook. We don't get a lot of live traffic. So when people start actually utilizing the chats that are available, it blows our minds.
Yes.
I also love it though.
We appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely love it when you guys jump in like that. Yeah, no, Wild's doing good. I think he just he was on call for work and he just got pulled in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm going to give him hell about not being here and, trying to take care of, real things, but,
support his family. Who does that?
Right?
It's 2024. Your family, actually, that's probably like some, 1912 type shit. Having your kids go down to the mines.
Nope, not going there. Okay, anyway, so back on the whole AI thing. So what we were talking about earlier is the new strike is based over video game voice actors. They're trying to make sure that they don't get there's not any plagiarism on their individual voices. So they're trying to get their contracts rewritten so that AI can't be using their voice.
That is pretty big, because I understand like with movies and stuff, because I mean the person still has to be there for the most part, or you can use digital recreation like they did with Star Wars and other films, Indiana Jones. I mean, even though Harrison Ford was still there and doing the work, but
well, they've done it enough times now. It's a valid worry.
Yeah. God, if there's a voice that I fucking hate, it's the TikTok woman's voice. I swear to God, I had to immediately mute a video as soon as I hear that voice. It's an immediate skip. It could be the funniest, video, the most enlightening video, the most important idea. It could be telling me that aliens are invading the planet right now, and I have 5 seconds to get to my nearest shelter. As soon as I hear that fucking voice,
gone. It's the most generic voice ever.
God, it's so annoying.
Is that the same voice they use for Siri?
No, Siri is much better than that. Even the male TikTok voice is so much cleaner than that, but like the female one is just, God, that's so fucking annoying. And she mispronounces fucking everything. I hate it so much.
Okay, so big reveal at Comic-Con this weekend. Apparently Robert Downey Jr. is coming back to the MCU as Dr. Doom. Now, how they're going to do this, I don't know. Is he going to be a Doom variant? Is he going to be...
I think he's just going to be Dr. Doom. I mean, I kind of feel if we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves.
They actually said in the panel, I did get to see a clip of it, where they said he will be Victor Von Doom.
Yeah, I think he's going to be Victor Von Doom. So, and that's one thing I was going to say. He is technically the first person to play two different characters within the MCU. And people are like, oh no, this happened before. Like, no, there have been Marvel projects that have not been associated with the MCU, like Oscar Isaac, who played Apocalypse, which was a Marvel character but not associated with the MCU, and then he's also played Moon Knight. Thank you. He's played Moon Knight, who is a MCU character, and there's been plenty like that. But he's like the first main actor to play two different characters in the MCU. I feel like they're just gonna go and run with it, especially with the end.
That scene was fucking hilarious, though.
Huh?
So that one scene though was hilarious.
Are you reading your chat?
No. I'm talking to you about the movie over the weekend.
Yeah.
Where they're tying in a specific character who's played two roles. I mean,
yeah, but see. I mean, the first one, it was not an MCU. It was not.
It wasn't.
It was not MCU.
But it's tied to it now.
Yeah, it's tied to it. I mean, so like, they're grandfathered in. Which is like how some people are getting around it. Like, oh, it's grandfathered in.
Yeah.
They're like not originally cast as an MCU character and then cast as another MCU character. Anyway,
Right. Sorry, I was trying to be so vague on that. We're avoiding spoilers for the moment.
Go see Wolverine. Sorry, it's Deadpool and Wolverine. I definitely saw a teaser about that, how Deadpool was the main character because he becomes first. So it's Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm curious if he's going to be a variant or if he's just going to be...
I don't think he's going to be a variant, because if we're also talking about that movie really quick, which is why I was trying to avoid it earlier, he was right. They need to step away from the multiverse, because them being in the multiverse and creating the multiverse and creating all this chaos was their downfall with Phase 4 and the beginning of 5. And then also with especially with Kang, with Kang, now that they're moving away from his character, god damn it, dude, he had Jonathan Majors had fucking everything. It was all right there. He had it. Jonathan Majors fucking had it. He fucked it up so quickly. I'm so pissed about that. Anyway.
Well, that's what happens when you go to Diddy parties.
Oh. Anyway, as they step away from Kang, I think they're going to step away from the multiverse and having to deal with the multiverse and all of its bullshit and all of its variants and all of its chaos. Because it just introduced chaos and introduced, too much unpredictability and too much chaos and too much, non-structure. It's wild. And they open the door to too much, which is kind of like what they did, with the beginning of, Deadpool and Wolverine, when one person shows themselves and you think they're somebody, but they're actually somebody else, and you're like, oh my god, they're back. Oh, it's just him. But he's so back. It's just. Sorry if that was too much of a spoiler alert, everybody. I can't hear you at all. You're so quiet.
There we go. I keep muting myself so I don't I just keep forgetting to unmute myself. Anyway, we have crept past the hour mark, so we're going to do 2 quick little segments here, ish, depending on how it goes. So first we are going to do, me and CP have seen Deadpool and Wolverine. So we're going to talk about it and be spoiler free. And then we're going to give you a warning, and we're going to give you 15 seconds to close everything out, because then we're going to talk spoilers. So we're going to give you...
We haven't entered the spoiler-free section yet, everybody.
No, so we have not.
Stick around. Keep hanging around.
Are we talking about someone's ass? We probably will.
Just reading a comment. He just gets laser focused. He's just.
I mean, it's going, and there's people. But yeah, so all right, let's jump into it real quick. My opinion of the movie, I think CP's is very close, is that overall the movie start to finish is extremely enjoyable, but the overall arcing story is weak as hell.
Yeah. So even so, I would say for a Deadpool movie, it's the second best Deadpool. I was gonna say it is the best Deadpool movie because it's just so great. It's so good. Having the Jackman back, everything. But I mean, you look at the plot. The plot was so just, I do like Deadpool 1. Deadpool 1 was still my favorite when it comes to plots. What was happening, how it was unfolding, going through the stakes that were involved, the end fight scene.
I think 2 was my favorite, but I think it's more because...
It was very unique. It was very unique. And as you watch Deadpool and Wolverine, you could definitely see how Disney had their influence you know, it wasn't a sky beam, but they still created a sky beam scenario.
Yeah. I technically spoiler free. I got a kick out of how that they kept making cocaine jokes, but they were not allowed to show cocaine.
You can go through the fucking list. Oh, that was so funny. They kept listen off the yeah. So that was funny. I mean, yeah. Other than the plot being, you know, the Disney cookie cutter. You know, this is the superhero. These are the stakes that are involved. You know, this is how we had to do it. Other than the Disney, you know, having its plot influence, I thought the movie was fantastic. I mean, as they went through their world, as they went on their journey, I thought it was great. It was a very emotional journey too for both characters. You know, for both Wolverine and Deadpool. Very emotional journey. Very, you know, creating, you know, adding the dynamic factor about how each one of them grew, you know, along the journey, which is sometimes what not Marvel movies, but actually a lot of movies do fail at, you know, creating the dynamic, creating how they evolve and how, you know, the journey affects them on their route to completion. Yeah, I can do some Deadpool stuff too. You know, cameos were great. You know, having cameos, you know, the characters that ended up sticking around and were actually part of the plot, they were great. The humor, oh my god, was it fucking funny? I think it had some of the best jokes. It definitely had some of the best jokes, and you can definitely tell that Ryan and even he were just like, you know, fuck Disney. I know Disney's not happy about making an R-rated movie that's so just dirty, and they just said, you know, fuck it, we'll just make it as dirty as it fucking can be.
Yeah, so let's see. Opening day was 96 million across 4,200 theaters. It's the biggest opening day for an R-rated feature and the sixth biggest of all time for an opening day. Sixth biggest opening day of all time, and definitely the biggest for R-rated. I need to, you know, we gotta see what the, you know, the weekend's gonna be like. I don't imagine it's gonna drop off. I really don't imagine it's gonna drop off. I think it will a little bit. I know Inside Out 2 is like clearing the box office right now. That thing has been on a fucking thunder roll. Yeah, but it's the only thing in the theater worth watching.
Right, but now that Deadpool and Wolverine is out, but I mean, you do have the trouble with it being an R-rated movie, so now it's not a family outing.
Yeah.
So that is tough, but I still think that people are going to give it love. You know, a lot of the hardcore Marvel fans, they want it to do well. They want the MCU to become back and to be, you know, revitalized, rejuvenated.
But let's clear the air on that. This movie does not refresh the MCU.
Not at all. Not even close. Don't even start saying like, oh, you know, the MCU is back. This is not an MCU movie. It has MCU ties and it brings in MCU elements, but it is not an MCU movie. It is a Deadpool movie through and through that is just now MCU canon.
Yeah. And that's it really. Like,
and I mean, they were able to joke around more, you know, because at first, you know, they were able to make a lot of Fox jokes. They were able to make a lot of, you know, I guess Marvel related jokes. You know, like, you know, joking that Josh Brolin was both Cable and Thanos, but now they were able to make, you know, more direct jokes involving the material, the MCU material, the Fox material. It's future projections and so on and so forth. Until he's 90. I mean, I think that's the one thing that's fucking true. I think that fucking Hugh Jackman is fucking back. I think he's fucking back, and
I see like one or two more appearances, and then he's gonna be out.
No, I think
he hates his routine for having to become Wolverine.
He does. He hates going through it. I think he loves it. I think he fucking loves it, man. You've seen him like when he gets on stage and he just does the. You've seen him when he's on stage like Comic-Con. He fucking loves it. I think he loves it. I think it's a hell of a process. It is certainly hell of a process. I can't even imagine the workouts that he goes through to fucking maintain that physique. But I think to a core, he fucking loves it. He loves it just because he loves the fan responses. When Robert Downey Jr. stepped on the stage and he fucking took off the mask as Dr. Doom, he fucking loved it. He loves it. He loved the fan response, and he understands like what he's doing for I guess the community. I think there's nothing like it. It's got to be such a different high. It's got to be such a different high. It just probably feels so fucking good for them. The thing. I'm not trying to say like they're egotistical and big-headed or anything, but I think it's just a different rush. It's just a different high that they get to deal with, and a different source of pleasure, knowing that they're giving other people pleasure, and be able to live up to that satisfaction. I think Hugh Jackman's going to be around. I think he's figured out the things especially working with Ryan Reynolds. I'm sure Ryan Reynolds had to sweet talk the shit out of him, and I'm sure him, Kevin Feige, those three probably has some really in-depth conversations about how to see things forward. I feel like Hugh Jackman's going to be back for a good amount of time. They've already started theorizing, and announcing projects where he's going to be leading in almost. I think he's going to be back for a good amount of bit. Good amount of time. Good amount of bit. Time.
Good amount of bit.
Bit of time. Reading comments again. He's super focused.
I just saw that there was a whole chain of text messages in the group chat. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? But all right, let's give everybody a little bit of time here. We're going to jump into spoilers. So if you want to avoid spoilers, leave now. Thank you for watching. Joseph said he's going to duck out because he wants to avoid the spoilers.
We appreciate you, everybody. Thank you. Good luck.
Hello, Madison. Oh, Madison A. Madison A? Yeah? Madison A. Hello. But yeah, everybody who wants to avoid Deadpool and Wolverine spoilers, please leave now. Thank you for coming and watching. Thank you for participating. We hope you had a great time, and we will see you next week. Well, hello there. I might be seeing you again very soon. All right. We'll give it another 10 seconds. Think it'll be fair. I'm just letting everybody who wants to avoid spoilers have enough time to get out. Pull over or hit, close program or whatever they're watching this on. All right, I give it another 20 seconds. All right, here we go. Spoiler time. So if you want to duck out, you're more than welcome to. I think he's playing Elden Ring on us right now.
I know what I'm going to say. The first thing that I'm going to say. Am I clear?
Yeah, we're clear. We're clear. Go for it. Spoiler warning. Dude, we're going.
Dude, they're fucking bringing back Wesley Snipes. They're bringing back Wesley Snipes.
That line he said?
The line he said in the face Deadpool gave you? Yes. They're definitely bringing him. Dude, he still look good. He still look good, man. He look fucking great.
Wasn't there a rumor about him coming back a while ago?
Yeah, there was, but they were going to have, what's his name, come back and play
Mahershala Ali.
Yeah, they were going to have him play Blade,
it was a great casting. That's a great casting. But they've entered so much turmoil with that movie. They've gone through 2 directors. They've gone through tons of writers, tons of rewrites. I think Mahershala Ali is almost fucking done. So a little information for you. Super spoiler warning. They were talking about different characters, playing, versions and whatever. They were talking about the Punisher. They're like, oh, which Punisher are you talking about? There's been 5 of them. And then that's when Wesley Snipes was like, because Wesley Snipes was in Deadpool and Wolverine. Wesley Snipes was like, only been one blade, only gonna be one blade. And that's when Deadpool just like looks at the camera and was like, for like 5 fucking seconds. He looked at the camera for like 5 fucking seconds and was like, and then so like, so I imagine that they're gonna bring Wesley Snipes back as Blade, make a new movie with him, and like have him keep rolling. How did you mute yourself? How did you do that?
God bless it. The Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum was. I mean, it was funny. It was funny and great, man. It was funny and great. He killed his role too, and I loved how they were just like, "Yo, man, who's your fucking dialect coach?"
I thought it was hilarious they didn't bring out the one that was in. Was it the second Wolverine movie, or was?
You're talking about Wolverine Origins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah,
what?
I mean, I'm Tyler Kirsch. Taylor Kirsch. I'm surprised I didn't see him. I wanted him to come back. I wanted him to reprise his role. I'm perfectly cool with how much they had Channing Tatum in it, but I wish they would have brought him back for like a quick second and like just to have him be there. And because I think I felt like he played that role very well too. I think he played that role very well. I think he did very good. You know, I mean, you know, I have a soft spot, you know, for him. You know, for for what's that fucking movie? John Carter of Mars. Dude, that underrated movie, so good. It was so good. I haven't seen it in such a long time, but I'm about to watch it right now.
But like,
Such a fucking good movie.
there was how many rumors of Channing Tatum's going to play Gambit, and he never got to play Gambit.
Those weren't rumors. Those were actual facts. They were already in the process of making the movie. They were going through, like they got pretty far. I feel like they had started. I want to say they had started shooting. They just canceled it or whatever. But like. He got pretty far, and they just kept fucking him over. They kept fucking him over, and so like at least he got something out of it, you know. And this might even help him. They might kickstart things to have him come back and start doing it. I mean, that was just Fox fucking up. You know, it wasn't, you know, because it wasn't part of the Disney yet. It wasn't part of Marvel yet. It was still, you know, still under Fox, and then, you know, just fucking tugging on Channing Tatum's short and curlies. You know, but nothing happened.
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to make comments about Johnny Storm.
I think after a while, like I was picking up what you're putting down. That was fucking hilarious, dude. I saw him and I was like, "Oh shit, it's the dude! Oh shit, it's the dude!" And dude, he fucking flames on. I was just like. They fucking would. Why was I expecting anything less? Why was I expecting anything fucking less from them?
I was, when it showed him, I'm like, oh shit, what's he doing here? I guess he's really dead in the MCU. And then I'm like, wait a second, this is Deadpool. What is happening?
Like I thought it was gonna be like a variant. I thought it was gonna be a Captain America variant. Because they weren't showing his face for a while, you know, they were showing his arm, like him wearing like the colored clothing, and it was obviously Chris Evans' voice. And I knew Chris Evans and Ryan Reynolds were tight, you know, especially from Free Guy when he made his appearance in Free Guy. So I knew they were tight. So I felt like he was coming in for a little bit, you know, and like when he took the hood off, it was going to be somebody completely different, somebody that you didn't even recognize, you know, like fucking
the fucking credit scene.
Yeah. Oh god, that was good. So I imagine like Chris Evans was involved, but like when he took the hood off, I imagine it was gonna be somebody else. I was just like, and they just dubbed Chris Evans' voice over it, you know, just to make you think it was Captain America. And then like he took the hood off, I was like, oh shit, it's fucking Captain America. They actually did it. They actually fucking brought him back. I mean, he must have been good for it. And he's just like, flame on.
Brought back Elektra. That was crazy.
That was really surprising, and that was a very great callback. That was really good.
Yeah.
I'm
glad, we're talking like OG Daredevil.
Yeah, OG Daredevil. I mean, you know, they gave Ben Affleck some light. You know, they talked about him. They made fun of him too. You know, but like, oh, Daredevil's gone. Oh, sorry. You know, trying to talk about their divorce and, you know, their breakup and whatever. So that was funny. I mean, they were poking fun at a lot of people's divorces. They poked fun at her divorce, or I guess their breakup, Hugh Jackman's breakup. They were poking fun at, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively breaking up at some point.
The part I think that bothered me the most during the entire movie was how they gave Wolverine bangs. And go back and watch it. He's got like 2 inches wide across his forehead. It's just like little bangs.
He'd be all right.
Her Ben Affleck joke had her rolling. Yeah, it was good. Like just overall, the humor was top notch for what it was. I actually appreciated the reduction in dick jokes. I don't know if I could handle another 2 hours of dick jokes.
I mean, they had a good amount of dick jokes, bud.
Yeah, go back and watch Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2. It's all dick jokes.
That's fair.
I think Deadpool 2 is still my favorite just because of Juggernaut. Because they did Juggernaut right.
Yeah. Not in this one. I'm mad that they didn't bring back Vinnie Jones. They didn't bring back Vinnie Jones for this. I was like, what am I gonna say? He had an okay Juggernaut. I mean,
they also had the Russian from Tom Jones's Punisher. Tom Jones? That's wrong. What am I thinking of?
Do you know about Ray Stevenson's Punisher?
No.
Tom Jane.
Tom Jane.
Yes, Tom Jane. There we go.
Yeah. It was they had the Russian in there from Tom Jane. He was the big blonde guy with the striped shirt.
You're talking about the one that he fought in the apartment,
Yeah,
like through the walls and shit.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I didn't see him in the movie.
Yeah, he has like a good solid 2 minutes of screen time.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, if we're talking about screen time, dude, he had more screen time than Lady Deadpool. I thought the Lady Deadpool...
I didn't even see her.
I was insulted. You didn't see her. Obviously, you weren't watching the movie because it was like, front and center. But like, yeah, she only had like 30 seconds of screen time. She had like 2 speaking lines. I couldn't recognize the voice when she spoke, but apparently it was Blake Lively that spoke.
Oh, Lady Deadpool. Sorry, I was thinking of Lady Deathstrike.
That's a completely different universe, bud. That's a different comic book series.
It's Wolverine.
Oh, Lady Deathstrike. You're talking about not X-23, but what do they call her with the fingers?
Yeah.
Yes, that is Lady Deathstrike.
But yeah, no, Lady Deadpool was in it. They had I could not think of a single Deadpool variant that they didn't have besides Zombie Pool. They had Headpool.
Okay, yeah. Zombie Pool. I mean, he might have been there. I mean, he just didn't look close enough.
Maybe. I mean, there was like 40 of them.
Matthew McConaughey was Cowboy Pool. I definitely didn't notice it in time. There was Toddler Pool and Baby Pool. Apparently, those were Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively's children as well.
Yeah.
And
Nathan Fillion was Headpool? No kidding.
You said Nathan Fillion was in it?
Yeah, he was Headpool apparently. I completely missed that.
I fucking know Nathan Fillion's voice. I did not hear that shit at all. But that might make sense. That dude is fucking hilarious. I'm so pissed. I'm so pissed for him because Sony missed their fucking chance. I'm not saying he's old, but he's definitely he's on the older side. Man, he would have been the perfect Uncharted. He would have been the perfect Nathan Drake. He was perfect. And he fucking took it upon himself. He made a short of him as Nathan Drake to show how good he would have been, and it was fucking perfect.
Yeah.
That dude should have been Nathan Drake. And they fucked it. They missed it. They waited until he, I'm not gonna say past his prime, but they waited until he was too old to play a middle-aged Nathan Drake.
Yeah, instead they got a guy who's 30 who looks 12 and is like 5'4".
And then Mark Wahlberg does some great things, but he is not a Sully. He's not a Sully.
Yeah, there's not really a lot to spoil because like the overall story was just meh.
Yeah, the overall story was meh.
It was just cameos. They
just going through, seeing the cameos. Seeing what
it
people returned.
was more nostalgia porn than anything.
Ooh, nostalgia porn. I will allow it. I did like that. I did like that in the credits when they were rolling the credits, and it showed the entire history of, I wouldn't say the blooper reel, but like the behind the scenes of the Fox studio and all the movies that they made. I thought that was pretty cool. I did think that was very cool. They went back and did like all the X-Men because it wasn't just focused on Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds. It was kind of focused. It was focused on everybody, like everyone's roles, even the movies that they weren't involved in. You know, giving those people some light. You know, showing like what they went through and you know how much fun they had making those movies.
It was a lot of Fox references.
I mean, yeah, I think it was almost all Fox, wasn't it?
Yes.
I don't remember seeing too many MCU Disney movies, but I mean, there was definitely a lot of the X-Men. I mean, a lot of the X-Men, a couple of the Fantastic Four, the new Fantastic Four, or I guess I can't say new, but like the more recent Fantastic Four.
I was really surprised at that. I mean, obviously, you know, those people deserve to work and all that other crap, but that movie bombed hard.
So bad. I mean, I try to think about it. I'm like, God, where did they go wrong? I mean, just yeah. I mean, it wasn't great.
I mean, overall, the casting for that one was bad, and also their storytelling was bad. But then again, you know, Green Lantern started with Parallax, so.
Green Lantern movie was bad. Yeah, they should have been of that too. Yeah. I thought who they cast. I can't remember his name now, but he's fucking solid. That they originally cast as Victor Von Doom in the reboot of Fantastic Four. I thought he was good casting for Victor Von Doom.
I didn't see that one. I think they did a better job with his look, but it was because the first guy they had wasn't bad. But he didn't have the Doom vibes. He was more stock market exchange than.
Yes. Oh, I was wondering how to put it. That's a very good way of putting it. Stock market exchange.
Yeah.
I was gonna he's too, he's too business.
Yeah.
Business. Yeah.
I mean, what's with the Vanessa breakup off screen? Like that was weird.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that either. That was dumb and extremely unnecessary. I thought that was extremely unnecessary, and especially since like they started the interview off with him being like, "Oh, my girl, she expects this. My girl expects that. I need to do this just to prove myself to my girl." And then in the next scene, be like, "Oh, we've been broken up for 6 years or whatever." I didn't like that at all. It kind of did help with his character development, but I still don't think it was quite as necessary as they needed to mean it. They could have left it at the point where they were still together, but kind of her shying away a little bit. Like, I want to be with you and I want to do with you, but you're just not going down the path that I can follow because you're not at your potential. You're letting yourself slide. I don't want to be there.
Yeah, because I mean, that was the entire premise of the last movie was him preventing her death.
Yeah. And then they're gonna start it with like, oh, she's just like, nothing that you did in the first movie, saving my entire life, and then bringing me back to life. None of that matters now. So like, I just decided to leave you just because you're not the right hero.
The only thing I could see them doing with that is in the future, possibly emphasizing his relationship with death. Because that was a huge thing between Deadpool and Thanos, is that the embodiment of death loves Wade Wilson and hates Thanos, and Thanos worships the embodiment of death. Like that was a big thing between them. Thanos did everything. The entire Infinity War was set off on the fact of Thanos attempting to impress Lady Death. Or, not Lady Death, but the embodiment of death. In the comic books. And then every time that Deadpool comes near death, he gets to visit her, and like, it's hilarious. But if you played the old 360 game, they referenced it a lot in there too.
Where it was voiced by Nathan Fillion, right?
Was he?
Yeah.
It's been a minute. The fact he kept the staples in his damn head the whole freaking movie.
It bothered me so much. I was like, get them shits out of there, man. Fucking remove them. But they stayed there. So.
The whole movie. I don't know what else to say, really. Like, it was fun. Beginning to end, it was fun.
It was so much fun. It was very, pretty hilarious. Daphne Keane as X-23. I thought she brought a, like, what's the opposite of, like, comic relief? She
had a little bit of it, though.
No, not really. Her character was very serious. I think she, portrayed her character very well. I think she acted out her character very well. It was kind of very serious. Like, serious in a way, like, if we don't do this, we're going to fail. Everyone's going to die. We need to do this, like, and she, like, had a lot of emotion as she was speaking to Logan, telling him about how he used to be and so on and so forth. I thought she did a very great job with her acting. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about them doing like the universe hopping to pull Logan in the way they did, because doesn't Logan take place like way in the far future? It does in the comic book. It does in the comic book. I don't know how it is in the movie.
I didn't understand the timeline. So, because he had the interview in 2018, and it said it was 6 years later, which was like which is present time 2024. But I thought technically, Logan, the movie takes place in like 2029.
Yeah. Like in the comic books, it takes place in like 100 years into the future.
Yeah,
but I know the movie has nothing to do with the comic book. But
fair. But I think the movie itself takes place in 2029.
Okay. So either way, the timeline didn't quite line up right.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I nailed it. 2029. Nailed it. Got it.
But yeah, there's not really. We can nitpick little things here and there, but anything that I want to nitpick, they made fun of. So they nitpicked themselves.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
They definitely making fun of certain things here and there. Making fun of themselves. Making fun of the fact that they said they weren't going to really mess with the Wolverine movie or mess with the movie Logan, and ended up doing that.
Yeah, all they did was dig up
the opening scene. That's the one thing that I really don't like about the Deadpools. I like it about the Deadpools, but they've used it too many times because it's happened in every single one of the movies. It starts with the scene. It shows him fighting, doing great things, you know, and then like, oh, now we're gonna flash back for 10 minutes, and then oh, now we're caught up. So I'm just like, you've done it 3 times. Let's do something else now.
It's going to be a signature now. Every time that they do a Deadpool movie, it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's signature. I mean, it's good. It works. It works so well in the first one. It works so well in the first one.
Yeah.
That was perfect. It was perfect storytelling. In the second one, I really didn't like it in the second one because it went by too fast. It was almost unnecessary. Unnecessary. You know,
by the time it happened in the third one, I forgot that they were doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like when it caught up to that scene, I'm like, oh yeah, we did a flashback.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, there's not a lot to nitpick.
And if you're nitpicking anything, you're just nitpicking the overall plot. I mean, the plot was so predictable.
Yeah.
He was just like, oh, your timeline's dying. You gotta find a new, or like, you know, the anchor being died. I mean, it was obvious that like you're not gonna be able to replace an anchor being. You know, it kind of just makes sense. When you just like to replace them. You're like, if you're grabbing a new Wolverine and just put it in the world, like, does that really count? I mean,
the whole story felt like a stretch just to bring Deadpool into the MCU.
Yeah,
that's what it felt like.
I mean, I guess they did it right off the beginning because, like, I mean, he's at the party and the TVA shows up, and apparently he was on Earth 616 the whole time. He was on Earth 616 the whole time because he was talking to Happy Logan, trying to join the Avengers. And that's one thing I didn't understand because, like, he was in the interview and it said he was on Earth 616. And then when it jumped 6 years in the future, it said he was on, you know, 10,005 or 10,005. Or as it said, 14445. Or 1 quadruple 05. 1405. Whatever, shut the fuck up.
I mean, overall though, like I said, like the story was weak as hell, but the overall the movie was just fun. And it's been a long time since I've gone to the theater and had fun. I went to a 10 a.m. show and the theater was half full.
I was at noon. Yeah. It was pretty full. I couldn't go Thursday, so I went Friday.
I went Saturday.
Oh,
I had to wait till Saturday to go.
Oh, dude, man, it was. God, I hate the internet and I hate social media so much because, especially like all the fucking critics and media pages, because they're the first ones to be like, "Hey, don't spoil the movie for the people that want to see it." And the first thing that they fucking do Thursday night is start posting like, here are all the cameos that people will show up. Here's what the fucking plot. This is how many end credit scenes they have. This is actually what this scene meant. I'm like, y'all are the fucking ones that are spoiling it. Just shut the fuck up.
They want to reserve themselves the right.
Yeah, they want to reserve themselves the right. They want to be the first ones out there to write an article, and put it out there so they get the fucking most hits. Dude. And half the article is them just being like, oh, Deadpool and Wolverine is the movie that's releasing in end of July and is about these two going on an adventure. And it's just copy and paste from an article they wrote fucking 6 months ago, trying to summarize what the movie would be about. And then they just add in this stupid shit, just being like, Wesley Snipes was there. Yeah.
Which was... That was a cameo I was not expecting. But
Jennifer Garner was something I was not expecting.
Yeah.
I mean, I like looking back at it, I could kind of see Blake coming in, but Jennifer Garner just showed up. She showed up out of the fucking blue. Actually, Wesley Snipes showing up out of the blue too is kind of because apparently Ryan Reynolds and Wesley Snipes hated they hated each other on the filming of Blade Trinity. Apparently, they were close to throwing fisticuffs the entire time.
Well, I mean,
and of course, somebody wrote an article about that too. Like Ryan Reynolds had to repair a relationship so he could have this person come in the movie.
Well, I mean,
it's not wrong. but
it's
still.
not wrong, but I can kind of see butting heads with somebody because, like, Wesley Snipes is definitely a I'm here to work kind of person. And Ryan Reynolds, I get a lot more of what you see as Deadpool is Ryan Reynolds.
Yes. Ryan Reynolds is not playing Deadpool. Deadpool is playing Ryan Reynolds.
Basically. Like, I mean, Ryan Reynolds has been the same character in every single movie he's in.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about people. It's tough to say. It's kind of bad to say. As much as I love him, but like, yeah, man, the range is not really his forte. He kind of just
he has been the same person since Van Wilder.
Yeah. Oh, Van Wilder. You're talking about what was it? Van Wilder. There's oh my god, what was the movie where where he's working in a restaurant?
I was just thinking about
waiting. Waiting. Yeah.
Yeah, Waiting.
Just Friends. The Proposal. I'm talking about like fucking old school shit. I'm talking about old school shit. What was that? There was a rom-com that he had where he was telling the story to his daughter about how he the original How I Met Your Mother. Oh shit, that was the original How I Met Your Mother. How did I not see that? Oh, that movie's because he was that movie's the original How I Met Your Mother. Holy fucking shit. What was that fucking movie? Oh.
Well, we've been going on for like 40 minutes talking about this stuff.
And he's telling about how he met her mom, and he's going through. She's like, oh, is that my mom? He's like, I haven't finished the story yet. And you're like, oh, hey, my mom. Oh, is that what my mom? Oh, I haven't finished the story yet. And when it comes out, it's like one of the women that he fed, you know. Yeah. Oh, with Elizabeth Banks. Elizabeth Banks ended up being the mom. Spoiler alert. But also the movie's a decade old. Shut the fuck up. Oh, is it even older than that? It's like 15 years old. Oh, I'm gonna find out.
You probably don't want to find out. It's gonna make you feel bad.
Definitely, maybe. There it is. Yeah. Oh, 2008. I can't do that math right now. What is that? 16 years?
16. You were close. You were close.
Was I not?
You said 15.
Oh, right.
So you were close.
Nice.
All right. Thank you all for coming and watching. We hope you had a good time. We will see you all next week.
Wait, hold on. When did How I Met Your Mother come out? How I Met Your Mother. When did that air? 2005. Okay, never mind. That's not the original.